What's up, it's Ivaldi Sako. Welcome to this business and self-improvement show. Today we'll talk about whatever you saw in the title of this podcast, of course, but more specifically about the things I'm going to list right now. And if you're anything like me, you're going to want to know and take notes on what you're going to learn right now, because I've learned them, I took notes on them, I'm giving them to you right now, and I think it's going to be this is very likely to be life-changing if you actually apply it. So yeah. These are the things. The 4 mistakes that prevent you from succeeding and keep you stuck where you are. Then, the one sentence, really easy, the one sentence that will change your life forever. And I'm not overselling this to you, absolutely not. Once you say it and actually mean it, it will change your life forever and you're almost guaranteed to solve any problem. Whatever it is, you will solve it and you will succeed at almost anything that you want. Because of this one sentence. I'm not kidding. Then I'll tell you what I learned from the billionaire co-founder of a French unicorn company, which means $1 billion company for those who don't know. And he told us about how to be able to build a great company. I'm going to tell you what he taught me. He taught us as the audience because it was in an event. I was participating. Also, I'm not a native English speaker, so mind you that I might make some errors in my English, but bear with me. It's going to be very useful still, because you can still understand me, right? I'll tell you also about the 5 great secrets to be sure to succeed in business that I got from this same event, and maybe some other interesting stuff. Maybe what you saw in the title is not exactly that. It's going to be like you're going to get it. You're going to get whatever you saw in the title, no matter what. And basically what I do on this podcast, because if you don't know me, my name is Ivaldi Sako. Hi, nice to meet you. I went from not wanting to live anymore to going in business with a guy making $300,000 a month and then going into business myself. All that, the catalyst for all of that was online content. It made me change. It made me discover that I could change, that I could become better, that I could become a better person, have a better life, a life worth living for. And so this is my attempt with this podcast to do that for you. I want to give back. I want to actually reciprocate this because I really want to. I really want to serve right now. This is I'm genuinely passionate about serving people the way I was served myself, because it changed my life. And if I can change someone else's life in a similar way, why not? If you don't on this podcast, basically because of this, what I do is that I document my journey to help you become truly free and successful, have a better life, and get to the next level of success. So whether you're an entrepreneur or not, it might still serve you. But if you're an entrepreneur, especially this one, it'll definitely serve you a lot. So yeah, this is basically what I do. And if you like that, consider subscribing. Hit the button, subscribe right now, actually, to not forget and miss the next episodes, because it's going to be pretty useful for you. And if you got some value out of this documentation of mine, this podcast, it's not really free. You got to pay the fee if you liked it, if you think it's valuable, if it made you think, made you laugh, whatever. If it give you some value, please share the show. I don't do this to make money. I do this just to document the journey and help as many people as possible, and you would help tremendously sharing this show with your friends, your followers, whatever. Thank you. Let's get into it. So what did I do this week? A little recap. Right now it's going to take a few seconds, maybe minutes, but it's good, I think, for some people to know about this. I've been going on the carnivore diet right now. I hated it at the beginning, and right now I decided to keep it for a month just to see what happens. Because I went on it for different issues. I think I talked about it in the last episodes. I decided to keep on it, and I'll then, after a month, I think, try incorporating one food at a time to basically to heal autoimmune disease, allergies, or anything of this nature. If you want to lose weight, it's a great way to lose weight, because I've lost a lot without even trying. And also I found some new solutions to my problems being psoriasis. If you have that, don't necessarily try to filter your water. Doesn't do great things. Like basically what I do is that each week I have some problems, right? And you can do this with your problems as well. You have a problem, okay, you think of solutions, you find solutions on the internet. On YouTube, there are a lot of great resources to find any solution to most problems. And then you make a list and you try them one by one. That's what you can do. You can actually do, like, this is what I do for my psoriasis, for example. And this week I've tried a water filter, didn't work. Boom, it doesn't work. Now, I didn't try it for a long time. And also I noticed that the water was not really filtered. So, I don't think most water filters that you put directly in your shower really work, because I boiled the water, just doesn't change anything. Like, the water is still like full of anything that there is into it. So I don't think this is a great option. I've been trying to put olive and coconut oil on my psoriasis, like on my skin. And I think it works a little bit. Not sure. Just been trying this for a couple of days right now. Basically what I do is that I got this from Dr. Berg. And I'll tell you maybe more about how to solve your problems. Not necessarily on psoriasis, but like any problems at the end, I think, of the podcast. So yeah, I also, now we get to the interesting stuff, participated in an event that, and on which I took notes, and I'm going to reveal to you those notes, which is most likely going to be very useful for you. Now, mind you, most things that I learned this week, I already knew. I myself already knew. I've been in business for like a couple of years, like 3-4 years, depending on when you're watching this. And I relearned them because I already knew about them. But that doesn't mean that I really actually knew them correctly, so that I actually applied them, because I didn't really apply most of them. Like, most of the things I'm going to be talking to you about, I didn't apply really well. And so the value to me was rediscovering them through another lens, reminding myself of those things. The value is not necessarily in discovering new things. Most things you already know. If you spend like 2-3 hours a week on YouTube, you know a lot of things, especially if you're like not necessarily entertaining yourself on YouTube, but like actually trying to learn. You know a lot of things. Now, are you implementing all of them? Maybe not. I know I didn't. I don't still. I know way more things. I know, with quotation marks here, way more things that I actually apply. And so maybe you know some of those things as well. But try to get from this podcast, okay, what can I learn? What can I apply better in my business, in my life? And if you go about it in this way, then content actually serves you. With an open mind, being able to learn and be willing to learn, and to just try and to get any pieces of information that you can to actually implement in your life, and think about, how can this be useful to me, right? This is the mindset that you need to be in right now, so that you actually learn and change your behavior when you learn those things. Because you have not really learned if you get yourself in a similar situation and you behave in the same way than before. Let's say you made a mistake once in a certain scenario, and you learned a lesson from it. And then a month from now, you get in the same situation and you make the same mistakes. This means that you didn't really learn, because if you learned, your behavior will change, right? So take anything that you can right now and take notes, because when you take notes, your memory is just like you're actively learning. And so when you're actively learning, you also have you have more ways to hit yourself in the memory. Like you put yourself things in the memory faster and easier when you write them down, and think of how you can apply this in your life. So, the billionaire that was in this event was first of all, the event was from a French entrepreneur that I think is making between 10 to 30 millions, something like this. Not sure, but it made me feel like he was in this range. And plus, I kind of calculated his sales, his potential sales. If he had really bad numbers, I think he's doing around that. And he brought the co-founder of Ledger, a French unicorn company, which means $1 billion company. If you are into crypto, you know Ledger. It's like a safe device for your cryptos. So yeah, here are the things that I learned from the event. I'm going to read you from my notes, and I'm going to tell you, okay, what I'm thinking about it and how it was presented in the event. So, here are the 4 mistakes that prevent you from succeeding. And I think this is in most things, not only in business. In most things in life, those 4 things prevent you from succeeding. And I know most of them do for me. And so I knew most of them. Actually, I knew all of them, I think. I knew all of them. Yep. And yet I still didn't really learn that I should do otherwise. 1, humility. Humility is the mother of all virtues. Be open-minded and train yourself. Follow the training and the course, and don't think you can do it alone. Now I have a great story about this. When I was starting up in e-commerce, I was launching myself in e-commerce because my mentor was in e-commerce. So I started in that, doing business. And so I had to learn a lot of things. So I went on YouTube to learn those things. And I had to learn how to code a few times here and there, right? Because I didn't, first of all, had the money to hire, even as a freelancer, anyone, like any developer or anything like this. And also I didn't want to risk the money. I was like, okay, I can do this by myself, right? I was working 12 hours a day, and this is how I hurt my hands. I injured my hands working too much on the computer, and at the same time because I was really not flexible on my wrists. Anyway, so don't work too much on the computer. Like 12 hours a day on the computer, it's like you got to be optimized to do this. Especially if you go to the gym, for example, on the side, like I did. And so I needed at one point to learn how to code. So I learned here and there. I knew a little bit about, how, codes, like how coding worked on the website, right? I knew how to make things change a little bit here and there. It was very simple, but I kind of understood it a little bit. And so at one point I had a specific code that I needed to change something on my website. And so I went on YouTube. I found a guy saying exactly how to do it. I followed it. 8 minutes in, on 12 minutes maybe on the video, and I was like, oh, this is how he does it. Okay, I get it. And so I go on my website and I try to change the code and everything. I tried to figure it out by myself because I was like, oh, I know exactly what it's going to say next. I'm going to do it by myself. And I didn't stick to the video up until the end. I was like, okay, I'm smarter than him, right? I was not humble. I'm smarter than him. I can figure this out by myself right now. I got this information. I know how to do it right now. So I went and tried and spent hours trying to figure it out by myself, when I could have just listened and be humble enough to know that I'm not going to make it by myself. I need the help of someone up until the end. I need to learn first fully and then try to do it by myself. But I was not humble. I was, for the least, at one point cocky. And I just lost a lot of time. And sometimes even when I I take a lot of courses, and in courses, people tell you how to do something, and sometimes you just stop watching, stop listening, stop applying because you think, oh, I know exactly what to do next. Oh, this is what I needed. I don't need what's next. Don't do that. Big mistake. Be humble. You need to learn by someone who know more than you. Like, why would you do this to yourself? Be humble. I heard a quote, I think it was a guy in marketing, like one of the oldest guys in marketing says, I don't remember his name. I don't even remember who he was. He was saying, you gotta be tough if you're gonna be dumb. And this is very true. Like, I was fortunate to be tough because I was very dumb, to not listen up until the end. I mean, like, come on. You can just like be patient a little bit and humble yourself to know that you don't know everything. Pretty obvious, but sometimes we don't apply it. Ask yourself right now, where am I not being humble in my life? Where do I think that I know it all? And sometimes it could, prevent me from succeeding, from moving forward, from solving my problems. To me, it was like a lot of time when people try to teach me, I'm saying, okay, I know about this, right? But I don't really apply it sometimes. Ask yourself where you are similar to me in this case. Number 2, not investing enough in your mindset. Now, mind you, this was an event, but at the end, he tried, like, he was selling something, right? So his points correlate with the belief that you need to have to invest in yourself, invest in your mindset, to be, take his course, basically. Take his program, his masterminds, and anything like this. But it is true. Like, I really, really believe that. Even though I didn't get the course, because I have too much right now. I just didn't apply all of it, so it doesn't make sense. But it was, like, very true. Not investing enough in your mindset. And I don't do this mistake, I think, right now, but I used to. I did it before. A long time ago, I did it. And yet it's one of the most important things, which investing in your mindset means maybe putting money to get a course, but also most importantly, putting the time and effort necessary, the energy to grow, to upgrade your mindset. Because your mindset, as he said it, and a lot of people say it, it's 80% of the result that you want to have is based on your mindset. Because your mindset is going to make you figure out stuff that are required for you to succeed. If you have a bad mindset, first of all, you're not going to believe that you can do it. So you're not going to do it. You're not even going to try to do it. And so if you don't try, you don't get nothing. And so he was saying that we need to invest in our mindset. And I think I do a lot, which the proof of this is the 3-part series podcast that I filmed, I recorded, which I urge you to either at the end of this podcast, just put yourself some time to really, like, this is the point, like, if you want to apply what I'm telling you about right now, that's the best way. Not investing enough in your mindset. Go invest in your mindset right now. A $1,000 course is given to you right now for free. It's those exact 3-part series podcast. It's a mindset training. Consider it as a mindset training. If you consider it as a really high paid training and apply it like your life depended on it, you will get tremendous results. Like, this is actually life changing. So put yourself sometime, note somewhere that you're going to go through this 3-part. Maybe I'll link it in the bio of this podcast. The 3-part, like, it's 3 podcasts of 30 minutes, about 30 minutes, that tell you about how to brainwash yourself for success, how to have a better mindset, and get to your goals in the easiest way possible. This is the way to do it. Brainwash yourself for success with this 3-part series podcast. It's the best way you can implement this second point that he was giving, not investing enough in your mindset, because it is crucial. And sometimes we just need time. And this is for free, by the way, right? I put this for free, and it might not be forever for free. So you might as well enjoy it right now, apply it right now, and you will thank me for it, hopefully, after you see the results of it. Number 3 of the third mistake that most people do and prevent them from succeeding. And that's what I do. I do a lot. I do less right now, but I do a lot still. Staying isolated with sometimes unsuccessful people. Because isolated, he was saying, like, when you're isolated, you pay the stupid tax. Because you don't see what people see. The value in not being isolated and being surrounded with people, hopefully successful people, hopefully people that are exactly where you want to be. But sometimes it's very hard. So just people that want to grow is just already like a great thing. If you have a group of entrepreneurs around you, instead of being a solopreneur alone, it's much better. I'm fortunate enough to have a few friends that are entrepreneurs right now. I didn't have any at the beginning. And so it's very lonely. Not only is it very lonely, but you don't see what mistakes you're making. You don't see what absolute, like, dumb decisions you're making sometimes. And you're focusing sometimes on totally, like, wrong stuff. And you can't see it, you can't be aware of it until someone else is an observer. It's like, right now you're the participant in your life. You're the participant in your business. You're in it. And so you don't see much more of, like, you don't see ahead. You don't see the bigger picture because you're in it. You're in the midst of it. You just don't see above, your nose. This is a French expression, right? A French saying. You don't see further. You don't see what's happening around. To be able to take a step back, sometimes it requires another person. A lot of times it's way better to have a mentor. Sometimes this is a value in consulting. Consultants, coaches, those people are like observer. They observe you. You pay them so that they can give you an opinion that is, it's not in the midst of things. So they can have a wider vision of what you need to do. And if they're successful, it's even better. But even if it's just like someone on your level that is aside from you, he can see things that you don't see. And this is the value in not being isolated. I did that for a long time. Now, right now, I try to do more events, to go more masterminds, to do more meetups with entrepreneurs, even if they're on the same level as me or even below me. Sometimes people have great insights because they see the things from another perspective, another story. They have a completely different story, first of all, which allows them to think about things differently. And so when you have opinions that sometimes contradict each other's, but they open your mind to new possibilities, which you didn't think about before. And so it's very, very valuable. Surround yourself with people. Don't be isolated. This is a mistake. 4. It's very simple, and yet I still do it. And most people do this. Especially at the beginning, people always do this. Entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs do this. And sometimes even when you're successful, you still do this. And it's preventing you from making more progress. And it's thinking too much. Just that. Thinking instead of cultivating action. This is the way he put it. And yeah, the more action that you take, the more data that you get. The more data that you get, the more you know. And the more you know, the less risky it is for you to jump in, become an entrepreneur, launch your business, launch this new project for your business, launch this new offer. The more you take action and the less you spend time in your head, the better you are. Because in your head, it's not data. In your head, it's imagination. Sometimes it's just like what you thought you knew, but you don't really know. Like, you're making stuff up in your mind. You're getting stuck in your head. And so the only way is to get out of your head and take action. Fast, massive action. It's so rewarding when you see yourself take action that you previously didn't know you were capable of, and now you know, wow, I can do this. It's very rewarding, and it's the fastest way to progress because you get actual data. And he was also making an analogy of someone who takes a lot of actions, who has gone through a tropical forest, right? A forest that's pretty dangerous. There's like dangerous animals in it. You don't see where you're going, right? Someone that takes a lot of actions has tried a lot of things and has came out of the forest. You're right now, you're thinking too much in your head. You're entering the forest and you're just trying to think, but you don't have any data. You don't know where you could fall. You don't know where there's a dangerous animal there. Oh man, maybe there's like dangerous monkeys there. Oh my God. And you don't know because you didn't take action. The one who took action, maybe he just like messed up a little bit here and there, but like he is already through the forest and you just didn't jump in the first place. So just jump in. Stop getting in your head. Go take action. Best investment ever. To take action, for example, on the mindset training, right? Always action, not just thinking about it. Taking too much time to decide. I do this a lot. This is why I know how valuable it is when you actually go through. You go through the process of getting out of your head and taking action. After that, in the event, he told us about ChatGPT. Now, honestly, I'm just getting tired of ChatGPT, hearing ChatGPT everywhere. I think a lot of people are. But it's kind of a revolution. It's kind of like big progress. And he was saying, he told us, okay, I'm going to tell you how to use ChatGPT to save 20 hours a week in productivity. I was like, there's no way. Come on. There's no way. I still think there's no way that you can save 20 hours, especially if you have a small team. If you have a big company, maybe 20 hours right now. It still makes too many mistakes to save really 20 hours. You still have the time that you will spend, not thinking of the things to come up with, you're going to spend in correcting. So it's going to make you gain some time, right? It's going to make you save a little bit of time, but not that much. I don't think so. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur. I don't think it is. But he gave some pretty good insights. And one of them was he said 3 things. So to use ChatGPT, you need to define a clear role that ChatGPT needs to play. You need to ask it, act like a professional copywriter. And he will act like a professional copywriter. And so he will give you better copywriting if you want that. Maybe you can ask him, act like you were a great lawyer. And he'll give you a lot of answers on that. I don't know, just thought about it. And so you need to be specific in the role that you need to play, and you need to also be specific in what you want. What you're asking, you need to be specific in the request. And then he was suggesting you sometimes, if it's profitable for you, personalize what he gives you, right? So just add your touch, your human touch, a little bit of a humor here and there, a little bit of personal background into what he gives you, right? Sometimes a lot of people use this for, I guess, blogs copywriting, emails, or getting ideas, add your personal touch. Is always better. But if you don't have the time, actually, if it's like you're just alone and some lower level activity that just are not that important, you could just leave it all up to ChatGPT, and then it saves you some time, I think. And then came the unicorn. Came the co-founder of the unicorn. I don't remember his name. I'm pretty bad with names, I guess. And co-founder of Ledger, crypto company. And so yeah, I took some notes on what he made me think about and what he told us, like, literally. And so he was saying when he launches a new business, like he was saying, okay, how do you launch a new business? And he was saying, first of all, I just get the industry. I have a vision in my head, and I have a vision in my head in relation to a big trend. And I have no idea about what business to launch. I have no idea about, okay, what service to offer, what product to create. I have no idea about all those things. All I know is that, okay, I see this is booming right now. I want to get in. He's excited about it, right? He's excited by the crypto industry, right? He's excited by this. He has a vision for it. He can see kind of like how it could be the future with that. And then he focuses 100% on that. He talks about this all the time. He thinks about it when he eats. He talks about it to his spouse. He just fully focuses on that, on this industry. And then ideas start to come, right? He knows he wants to get on this industry because it's going to be a big wave, right? And he was right. It has been a great wave for him in Ledger. And so he goes all in the industry, then he gets ideas. This is how he launches a new business. And he was also saying a lot of things about how he manages, how it is to operate a great company. And those are the things that I took from him. So, to know how to lead is to know how to surround yourself. And he was talking about, okay, when you lead, you need to always be surrounded by great people. Because if you're not surrounded with great people, you're not going to be a leader. Like, a leader can only be a leader if the people around him are at least good and better than him in their specificity, in their industry, in their skills. They are better than the leader. Because if they're not, it's like not a great developer, for example. If the leader is a better developer than the developer that he hires, he's going to have to micromanage him. And so it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to hire anyone if it's going to be someone that is in a lower skill. What you want is to hire up. Hire up above your skill set. This is what I mean. And he knows how to give parts of the cake to achieve his vision. He was also saying, which means like basically just like sharehold, like he gives out share of his company. That's basically what it means. Also, to have a partner is also to know how to manage his partners. So basically he was saying like it is an advantage to go in business and have a co-founder. I think he said that at the beginning they were 8 co-founder of Ledger. And so he says that it's a big advantage because it teaches you how to manage people and how to allocate responsibilities to each and every single one of them, right? Like it helps you a lot to know how to be a leader, how to be responsible around people, how to manage them, and also like how to behave, right? It teaches you soft skills when you have a co-founder. When you're alone, it's harder because when you hire people, it's not going to be the same relationship. Like people are not going to, most often are not going to tell you bluntly what they think. And so it's harder to get real feedback. And the less feedback you get, the slower you make progress. Because you cannot adjust as much as one who has constant, blunt feedback. That can be like harder at the same time, but it's like better for your growth, he was saying. So I'm pretty like bummed out because I don't have one. So but I think it'll work out anyway. You can obviously found alone a company and make it be a really great company, but you gotta be able to share the cake. Not making concessions. Always recruiting people better than you. So this is what it meant. Not making concessions. It means like be willing to pay higher skilled people. And he was also saying that the difficulty of an entrepreneur is to let go. We're always like trying to control everything. And when you're trying to control, you end up micromanaging, especially if you hire people that are not as skilled as you. You need to teach them. You need to, see what they're doing here, what they're doing there. Especially at the beginning when you're hiring, like at the beginning stages of your hirement, your recruitment. I don't know if you can say this in English. You're going to be tempted a lot to micromanage. I know I was. I still am. And because of this, it's going to make you waste more time than the new employee or the new hire is going to save you. So be willing to lose margin and get more time, because this more time you're going to be able to make more progress on the company, work more on the vision and managing people the right way so that it will make you ultimately more money. He was also saying that even with hundreds of employees, he always takes 10 to 15 minutes to recruit each person. Like he wants to know each and every single one individual that comes into his company. Why? To, first of all, make sure that they are welcomed properly and that he makes sure that they are buying into the vision, they are a great fit for the values of the company, and he wants people to make sure that just to feel like they're involved, right? If they can meet the co-founder, well, they're pretty involved in the company. Like it's important, and he makes sure his values, the values and the vision, is shared even on the lowest, with quotation marks, lowest levels of jobs. Like, for example, even the cleaner, right, of the company, of ledger, I guess, he knows what the company stands for. He knows what the mission is. And so they are all aligned with this, and so they can move forward in the same direction toward the vision. He was also saying that even if it's not social, he goes to dinner and to event. Why? To recruit. He was like in recruiting mode for a long time, and he only stopped when he recruited recruiters, like people that will hire for him, right? And so he was going out and he was like talking to a lot of people, all that just to know, okay, this guy will do really well for my company. I want him. And so we get his contact and you just talk to him, and it's like pretty much networking, right? And at the end, he hires them. And at one point, when the company gets big, he hires people to hire for him, because it's a lot of time to go to dinner and just socialize. It's pretty much full, like your whole life has to be dedicated to that, because you need to build a relationship with people to be able to hire them, especially if at the beginning they just don't want to leave their job or to to be in your company. Sometimes you're just trying to hire people that just don't want to be hired, and so it takes a lot of time to just make them want to work with you. Every 15 days, all the employees come to the office and we explain everything that happens in the company to gain the trust of our employees. This is what he said. And that's pretty interesting. Every 2 weeks, everybody knows about what's happening in the company. And he was saying this to make the point that people need to feel involved. People need to feel like they are treated like adults. Like we tell them everything that's happening. And so because they're feel involved, they are actually involved. They want to do great work in their company. And he makes sure that the vision, the values, the company offers the vision, the values, and a great workplace, a great happy workplace to work. He makes sure that his employees know that they're creating an impact. And it's not, he said that as well, it's not some BS thing, it's just like some things that just make sure like it's not something to look good. It's actually like the case. People actually want to make an impact, want to work towards something, toward a better future, toward like helping people. And if they know they're involved in that, and if they're happy in their working place, they gotta be like, he was saying that they gotta be like, oh cool, Monday, let's go. I love seeing John there. Oh, it's so funny. I love working with John, right? This is how it needs to be. If they're like dreading the fact that, oh my God, another Monday, they're not going to be working as efficiently. They're not going to be happy. They're going to leave. And the whole company culture is going to be dragged down. And so this is why he was having every 15 days a big meeting, right? And also he was saying some words for people from 0 to 1 million. He was saying, stop thinking too much. Just go for it and do it. Cultivate your unconsciousness. Be unconscious. Don't ask yourself questions. You won't have the answers to all. And most of them you won't have the actual answers. And so what you have to do is just to go for it and execute. Just like pure execution. It's the only thing that counts. Because we will be judged on our execution, not on our ideas. Because ideas without execution are worthless. And so we have to prove ourselves with our actions and stop putting obstacles in our way. Stop thinking too much, because sometimes all we need to is just stop thinking and just start acting, and everything opens up. This is what he was saying. And then from 1 to 10 million, he was like, all right, time to recruit. Time to recruit managers. He was like saying, you have to see and have the right C-levels, bring in advisors. I don't know if you can say C-levels in English. I have notes right now, and I'm just like, I put them on a translator and I translated them. That's it. And I'm just, making sense of them right now. You need to have a CFO, part-time, for example. And if not, sometimes when I also read in Principles by Ray Dalio that oftentimes when you need someone part-time, it's sometimes more efficient and more productive for you to get someone external, not in the company. Someone like hire someone from another company, a consultant, a mentor, an advisor, right? Someone that is outside, because he's already going to be very, like he most likely have already the skills, and it's easier to find because you're going to be paying higher rate for him, but you don't need to pay them full time. So it's like a good compromise. And what you got to do to get to 1 to 10 million is to start removing the fingers. This is what he said. I don't know. I'm not even to 1 million yet. So That's dead. And his last words were, you are choosing an incredible choice of life. It's the journey that counts. You have to have fun all along the way, even when you have big problems. Like, you have to enjoy it and be looking forward to solving those problems. And when we choose to become entrepreneurs, we do what we do because we want to do it, usually. And so because we want to do something, we find the energy and the strength to do it and to succeed. And every morning, what you got to do is just wake up and be incredibly excited to just crush it this day. Let's go. I wake up this Monday, boom. Let's go. I'm excited for this week. I'm going to crush it. We're going to solve these problems. We're going to serve those people. Service. Like, to me, service is very important. Like, I think this is the purpose of life. To serve. That's it. If you serve people, you'll find some kind of success at the end of the day. So yeah, then he went. I think it was like a 40 minutes intervention. I guess the host paid quite big money for him to be there. And then he went on to give us his 5 great secrets to succeed in business. Without those secrets, if you don't apply them, are they secrets actually? Maybe not. But if we take into account what you know based on what you applied, then I think they are actually secrets, because most people don't apply them correctly. So here they are. 1, it's going to seem basic to you, but please consider like thinking, okay, how can I apply this? Okay, how can I do this better? And if you think it in this way, it's going to serve you a lot, just like it did for me, because I knew all those points, all of them. Honestly, for a long time, I don't still apply them correctly. Number 1, be clear on the ideal customer. I know it's basic, and the real problem of this customer that we solve. Let me repeat that. I think he repeated that as well. Be clear on the ideal customer and the real problem of this customer that we are solving. Because sometimes you're trying to solve some imaginary problem or some problem that doesn't really matter for your customer. And sometimes you're not exactly conscious and aware of and precise, specific about your target avatar, your target client. You need to be very specific, because in your marketing, you're not going to be talking to the person if you're just talking to anyone. He was saying, of course, like, if you go in the street and you shout out, hey everyone, listen to me, nobody's going to listen. But if you just shout out, hey John, if there are a lot of people, maybe some people that his name is John, is going to say, hey, what's up, right? If you talk exactly to your avatar, to your target customer, he's going to answer. He's going to feel like you're talking to him. And so he was saying, by the way, in this first point, remind yourself, the more action we take, the clearer it becomes. Like, you can't be in your head and think about those things, right? Like, he didn't say that. I'm saying it to you right now. Like, you're just trying to think of who's your ideal customer. You can't think that. Either you have already a base of customers and you see, okay, which one really loves our product, which one spends the most with us, right? Which one has the highest LTV, lifetime value, basically how much your customer spends in his lifetime that he's with you and your company, and like doing business with you, right? Buying your product or service. Who is the one who will love our product, who will stay with us for a long time, buy again and again. And yeah, do not sell to everyone. Know your customer like very effectively. Know your customer very precisely to be able to create an effective marketing strategy to better talk to them. That's what I was saying. And then you can, because you know them, you can adjust your marketing to them. You can adjust the colors, the branding, Let's say, for example, you're marketing a kid toy. The colors are going to be like red, flash red, bright yellow, pink, blue, like all around the place. If you're talking to a much older audience, 50, 60, 70 years old, if you have all those many colors, you're not going to be talking to the same person. They're not going to be feeling like, okay, it's for them. Also, if you talk to kids, you're not going to talk the same way that if you talk to adults and senior people, right? If you're going to talk to older people, you're going to talk more slowly, more like slow paced, right? Make your point. They have higher attention span. Or maybe, I'm not sure about this right now, because maybe like even the old people are on TikTok, and some 20-year-old, you're going to be having to have like be fast paced, right? Talking a lot, making a lot of cuts in your marketing videos. So it really depends on who is your target customer. And when you focus this way, you must make feel your customer. Oh my God, your potential customer. When he watches your marketing video, for example, you must say like, oh my God, this is exactly for me. When he receives your offer, he needs to be, oh my God, he did that exactly for me. Like this was exactly for the type of person that I am. This is exactly for me. Like this has literally like been created for me, and it was. And so they really respond well with your marketing message, with your offer. And so it really works. Number 2, you need to fall in love. And before I get to the second point, which is very crucial, let me drink a little bit of water. So, number 2 was fall in love with your ideal client instead of your product or service. The focus needs to be the customers, the client, not the product. Sometimes entrepreneurs, we like to create the best product, and we talk and we rant about a product, how our product is the best and why it's the best. It's like so sophisticated. People don't care about this. People care about themselves. And this is not only the feature versus benefits clash. It's most like get to know your customers, get to know your clients, like a love, like when you're with your partner, your spouse, your husband. If you have a loving relationship with your customer, you will like continually try to know them, understand them, ask them what they want, and they offer it to them. For example, if like your spouse tells you that she loves, let's say it's the anniversary of your marriage. I'm not married, but like, let's say, imagine a couple that's married, maybe you are married, and you really wanted to go to Disneyland. Let's say you really wanted to go to Disneyland, and you're saying, baby, for our 20th anniversary, we're gonna go to Disneyland. And your wife is like, just, why? Oh, baby, really? I thank you, but like, I don't want that. And so she feels like she's misunderstood. She feels like you don't know her, because you just like asked her to do what you want. It's not about you, it's about her. So if you want to make a gift, if you want to offer something, if you want to like sell something, you need to ask this person what he or she wants. What do they want? Your client. What does your wife want? Baby, I really would like, let's say like it's a relationship. So you always continually get to know her, because people change. They don't stay the same. So you need to always be in a relationship with your customers, with your clients, and always know what they want. What are they afraid of? What do they desire? What is the most frustrating thing that's happening in their lives right now, in the moment? Because it might change. In a year from now, maybe they're not going to be so desperate to know how to use ChatGPT. I don't know. But right now, maybe they are. And so if they are, and you know because they've actually told you, not because you're thinking in your head, right? because it's a relationship. You love your customers so much that you always talk to them. And so you know what they want. And so you, hi John, you want to know how to use ChatGPT like right now, like very easily? And he's like, yeah, I don't know if it's something that people want, but let's say that it was. It was like, oh yeah, sure. I want that, please. How much? And he asks you to pay you. Then you can create an irresistible offer. Something like people feel stupid saying no to, because you know what they want. So you're gonna just give it to them. This is the basic, like very foundational thing. And to have this relationship, sometimes you have multiple customers. What you can do is just give them a survey, right? Have a survey and ask them exactly what you want to know. Problems, frustrations, desires, and fears that they have. If you know that, this is the most important things. Then you need to create a triple E. This is like he meant you need to create an extraordinary emotional experience. What does that mean? That means that when your customers and clients receive your product or service, they're just so delighted. They are emotionally like they receive a great experience, emotionally great experience. Like Apple, he took this example. When you receive Apple's product, like the new iPhone or iPhone 20 or anything like when you receive it, like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's just like you feel emotions. And you need to make people feel this way about your product. So you need to deliver value, add so much more value to them, not detract, right? You need to add a lot of value to their lives. And so when you do, they'll feel delighted. Oh my God, thank you. They'll pay you and they will thank you. This happens. You do it. Number 3. I think I'll go a little faster on this because I'm getting a little late right now. Number 3, have an outstanding marketing. Basically, if you're boring, you'll not get noticed. That's as is. So you need to learn to be getting outside of the box. Being good at marketing is being good at being remarked and remembered in the minds of your customers. A top marketer has to be able to dare and actually do so. Dare. Be bold in your marketing. If you're not people are not going to remember you, because especially right now, it's like people are screaming left and right. You need to be specific in your messaging and bold to captivate the attention of your target audience, target customer. Number 4. Also, he was saying, if you conform, you're dead. Number 4, have dashboards to make strategic decisions. Basically, know your KPIs, key performance indicators. These are the most important numbers. If you don't know those numbers, you could be like making your company die. You could be making so wrong decisions because you think you're profitable right now, but you're not. So you need to have, first of all, accurate KPIs. KPIs means like sometimes it's ROAS, return on ad spend. This is one of the most important things to know if your ads are profitable or not, right? So if you think you're profitable, but you're not really, you're going to drive yourself into the ground. You're going to, most companies die. Most people's company die because of this. This is what he was saying. And so you need to have a good vision of your numbers. Like have dashboards of your KPIs, key performance indicator. And it depends on your business model. An e-commerce store will not have the same KPIs than a service-based business, right? Because they don't in e-commerce, you're not going to have a sales conversion rate because people don't get on sales calls. So that's that. Now, number 5 is something that also the margin of your product and service are one of those KPIs, most likely. Number 5 is something that 2 of the richest men on the planet have said in different interviews at different times they didn't know about each one and each other's. And they both said, in answer to this question, what do you think is the most important thing for your success? And they both answered one word: focus. Do one thing and do it extremely well. And if you do, you're going to become the best at it. And so you're going to do more business than anyone else. And he was also saying, of course, especially when you're starting up one business, right? Don't try to do a lot of businesses at the same time. Make this a mistake. It's not a good thing, because you're going to split your focus, literally. And if you split it, it's less powerful. And one business, one avatar, one ideal client, right? One funnel, one product, especially at the beginning, one of anything that you need. One email sequence, right? One strategy at the beginning. And then you can expand a little bit here and there, right? And do it like really incrementally, because it can get very, very like out of hands very fast. And he was suggesting the book, The One Thing, which I read, and I think I'm going to reread again, because I didn't really implement all of the information that I got from this book. So I didn't really learn truly everything that was in it. So I'm going to reread it. I'm going to read it again so that I can actually apply the things I didn't apply yet. And so, yeah, I think this was pretty useful. This was an event. At the end, he was selling a $9,000 product on sale, right? He like $20,000 worth of value. He was selling it at $9,000, $50,000 of worth of value at $20,000. It was a mastermind or something, and he had another product at $50,000. At like $100,000 value at $50,000, something like this. And so, yeah, I didn't buy any, because I just like, first of all, I don't have the money for the high end. And second of all, like for the cheapest one, I have too much. Okay. I have too much to do. So anyway, and I don't think he was really speaking to me, because maybe he made this mistake himself. He was talking to three kinds of people. He was talking at the same time to people that didn't have a business, the people that already had a business that were making less than $1 million a month, and at the same time people that already, because in the audience there were people like maybe making already $2 to $4 million a year, and he was talking to them as well at the same time. So his message was not very sharp, was not very precise, and I think he didn't apply one of his points. This doesn't mean that he didn't make a lot of money, but I think in his expansion he lost a lot of people. Maybe I'm one of them, because he expanded, because he's at another level, right? And I really think that he just lost a lot of, relatability in what he's saying, because he was trying to talk to three different categories of people at the same time. And I'm sure it was his strategy, like for sure, but it's less effective. So in percentage, I think he was catching less people than if you are in the beginning and just focusing really much on one specific avatar. That was a podcast. I hope you liked it. If you did, please share the show. As you promised, it's the fee. Pay the fee. And I hope to see you on another podcast. I like you for spending this time with me, and I hope to see you on the mindset training. Right. Mindset training, very important. Take action on this stuff. I hope you took notes. If you didn't, go back and rewatch. It's not a problem. It's worth it. I'll see you on the other podcast.